The iPhone 17 just launched, and the internet is already in chaos. TikTok feeds are flooded with unboxings. YouTube reviewers are racing each other for clicks. Instagram is stacked with flex shots of people holding the new box like it's a trophy. Apple didn't just release a phone, they engineered a cultural earthquake. And if you don't have the latest model, the message is unmistakable. You're already falling behind. But here's the real twist. This isn't about technology, it's about identity. Apple isn't just selling you a device, they're selling you a place in the social hierarchy. And social media is the stage where that hierarchy plays out. This is called conspicuous consumption, a term coined by Thorstein Veblen in 1899's The Theory of the Leisure Class. It describes the ritual of buying and flaunting goods not for their utility, but for the prestige they signal. That's why the iPhone matters. Think about it. How many times have you scrolled past someone posting, "finally upgraded," with that smug little grin? They're not bragging about a camera or a chip, they're bragging about belonging. And whether you notice it or not, that flex works. It plants the seed that maybe you're out of step, maybe you're slipping, maybe you're less. That feeling of inadequacy isn't a bug, it's the product. Apple has perfected the art of making yesterday's phone feel ancient. And platforms like TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube are the megaphones that scream that message into our faces. Why does it work? Because it's not about features, it's about fear. Fear of being the one with the cracked screen. Fear of being the friend who lags behind. Fear of being invisible in a world where visibility is everything. And Apple has learned to monetize that fear better than anyone. Some people cave. They trade in a phone that works perfectly fine. They max out credit cards. They skip essentials. All just to keep their place in a race they never signed up for. And if you think that's an exaggeration, consider this. Surveys show people are delaying medical bills and rent just to afford upgrades. That's not hype, that's reality. And it gets darker. Apple doesn't even need to push the narrative anymore. Social media does the heavy lifting. Influencers parade the iPhone 17 as if it's a golden ticket. Your friends post their upgrades as if they've leveled up in life. Even algorithms join the hustle, amplifying envy because envy keeps us scrolling.
Checking back in now with Mike Apple, and I wanted to ask you before, would you ever line up like overnight or for a couple of days to get an iPhone? $1,300 iPhone?
I'm not a lineup guy.
No.
Tim Cook on the company's conference call last night in the wake of Apple's earnings. He was somewhat excited about the prospects for this new device. Apple is forecasting its biggest Christmas sales with, so Apple's, of course, got lots of momentum. The stock this year has been a stellar performer on Wall Street and set this morning to open around $173 per share. There you see the fourth quarter results alone. Those are going to jump substantially for the first quarter. You see $52 billion in sales for the fourth quarter. Tim Cook yesterday was talking about sales for the Christmas quarter, $84 billion.
This is where inequality cuts the deepest. For the wealthy, the iPhone 17 is just another shiny toy. For others, it's a painful reminder of what they can't afford. The price tag, over $1,200, means different things depending on your bank account. The iPhone 17 isn't just a gadget. It's a carefully designed status machine. It's proof that corporations can manipulate insecurity, platforms can weaponize comparison, and inequality can hide in plain sight. You're not just buying a phone, you're buying the illusion of belonging. And if you don't, you risk being left out of a world where being left out feels like disappearing. The iPhone 17 isn't just shaping wallets. It's shaping culture. Within hours of the launch, influencers were already cashing in. TikTok creators flaunted cinematic shots of glossy devices. Lifestyle vloggers wove the iPhone 17 into their morning routines. For them, the phone isn't just a gadget, it's currency. When influencers upgrade, they don't lose money, they make it. The phone pays for itself in sponsorships, brand deals, and views. The flex becomes monetized. But for everyday people, the story is flipped. You pay the same $1,200 and all you get is debt. No deals, no clout, just the sinking feeling that you bought into someone else's hustle.
Product placement is common in movies and TV shows, but Apple takes a different approach. Instead of paying money to a studio, they provide products for free as props. Knives Out director Rian Johnson did make it clear, saying they let you use iPhones in movies, but, and this is very pivotal, if you're ever watching a mystery movie, bad guys cannot have iPhones on camera. The reason is likely due to the villain's negative image, which Apple doesn't want associated with their brand. In fact,
Apple knows this dynamic. They don't need to spend billions on advertising when TikTok and Instagram users are doing it for free. Every polished unboxing is an unpaid ad. Every shot on iPhone 17 clip is a marketing campaign disguised as content. And algorithms happily push it further because nothing drives engagement like envy. But the damage isn't only financial, it's psychological. Studies have linked constant comparison on social media to anxiety, depression, and low self-esteem. The iPhone hype cycle pours gasoline on that fire. Your phone, supposed to connect you, becomes a mirror that reflects where you rank in a digital caste system. The divide isn't just personal, it's global. In the US, the iPhone 17 costs more than a week's wages for many. In developing nations, it can equal months or even years of income. Yet social media beams the same message across borders. If you don't have the latest model, you don't count. The phone becomes a global marker of privilege, splitting the world into those who are in and those who are locked out. And then there's the waste no one likes to talk about. Each new launch creates millions of discarded phones. Many end up as toxic e-waste dumped in poorer countries, poisoning soil and water. The same communities excluded from Apple's shiny future end up shouldering its dirtiest consequences.
5.3 billion mobile phones will be thrown away this year. Stacked up, that is 31,000 miles of phones, reaching 1/8 of the way to the moon. Based on current trends, the group predicts more than 81 million tons of electric waste from tablet, computers to washing machines will be thrown away by 2030. And at issue, many of the chemicals and metals that make our gadgets work are highly toxic. It's estimated that 55 tons of mercury have already seeped from electronics dumped into landfills into the soil and groundwater.
What's the real story of the iPhone 17? Not innovation, not progress. It's a system built on pressure. But maybe the most dangerous part is how ordinary it feels. Each launch feels inevitable. Each flex feels natural. Each upgrade feels like a choice. But it's not a choice. It's engineering. A cycle designed to keep you chasing, comparing, and spending. So the real question isn't, should I buy the iPhone 17? The real question is, how long will we let corporations and algorithms decide what it means to belong?